I can't hear y'all. How y'all doing? It's been a long time since I've been in middle school. I'm a senior in college now, so I was probably there almost 10 years ago. One of the things that I remember in middle school that I had to deal with was the people you hung around with. I didn't play sports until I was in 7th grade. It wasn't something I always wanted to do. I liked going to school and things like that, but you know, I didn't come from the wealthiest of backgrounds. I didn't have a lot of money growing up, and you always see, or I always saw in the middle school, there was a guy always on our corners trying to recruit kids basically to join their gang, and he had the nice car with the nice rims and always had money, and you're thinking, man, I'd like to have some of that. But the problem with that is when, as you got older and as you started to see some of the decisions they were making and what that led to in their life, is that a lot of those guys usually end up getting in trouble. I know for a fact at my middle school, some of those guys end up in jail and some of them end up dead. And that's just being real about it, because you know, to me, it all started with some choices they made to hang out with the wrong people. And so the thing I'm trying to tell y'all and make sure that y'all understand is, it's a great thing to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and know who you are and what you stand for. It's a great thing to know that you have an identity that is separate away from your friends and people who make wrong decisions. It's a great thing to be able to stand and say, I will be an example for other people. I will show them what the right way is. It's a great thing to know that you have a positive self-image that when people look to you, they know that you stand for something that's good, and they know they can look to you to always be the right decision maker. So the challenge I want to give to y'all is, how many of y'all can stand up and be that individual that all your friends can look to and know that you'll be the one who will do the right thing when everyone else is doing the wrong thing, who will do the right thing when it's easy to do the wrong thing, because making the right decision isn't always easy.
I'm going to speak to you about choices. Like Frank said, you know, peer pressure is huge. I mean, we all deal with it, we still deal with it, but in deciding who to hang out with, what you're going to do, you have to do a thing called making choices. I had to make a choice. Was I going to do what they were going to do? Was I going to, you know, not go to class, not study, not read, not do the things that were going to help me in the future, or make a choice to do the right thing? And fortunately, I had enough leaders and friends who decided to make the same choice I did and to read and take care of business and make good grades so that I could get into a school like UT. Or there's going to be so many choices out there, especially as far as you guys right now. The choices will pretty much carry you on a lot of times in your life. There's some friends, family members, all the above that have made those bad choices. I mean, a lot of times in the media or wherever you'll find that they make people out to be bad people. They're not bad people. They're in really bad situations, not because they're bad people, but because they made bad choices. And again, you have to really consider your choices. You have to really, even more, choose who to listen to. I mean, there's a lot of people putting things in your ears. There may be an older person, your elder, who may want you to make a bad choice. So you have to really realize and understand who to listen to and who not to listen to. You have to make those choices. And hopefully you make the choice now that you want to go to college, because it'll make it a lot easier in high school and eventually once you get there. So again, like I said, I just want to touch a little bit more on choices, because throughout your entire life you'll have to make choices. We still have to make choices. We still have to go to class, and as you know, if you're in sports, you have to pass to play. Well, that doesn't change when you get to University of Texas or any other university. You have to choose to do your work. You have to choose to keep your GPA to a higher standard. You have to choose to really live a life of a higher standard.
The secret to being successful in life is to set goals. Anybody know what a goal is? Something you want to achieve in life. All right, and I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about goals, like something that I've done, I know these guys have done in life in order to attain their goals. The first thing you need to do, okay, when you're setting a goal, is make sure that it's attainable. You don't want to set some goal that you can't attain because it's not worth working for. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, my goal is to bench press 2,000 pounds. Okay, it's not possible. Nobody's ever done it, so it's not an attainable goal. Now, that's the first step, is setting goals. Now, there's two different types of goals. Anybody know what they are? Probably not. Long-term and short-term goals, okay? Those are two completely separate types of goals. Long-term goals would be goals like in your case, I want to get to college. I want to go to college. I want to graduate high school, have a high enough GPA, and go to college. Whereas a short-term goal would be this 6 weeks, instead of getting B's and C's, I'm going to get A's and B's. There's different types of goals. And you can have goals academically, you can have goals athletically, you can have goals, spiritually, mentally. Any way you want to have goals, you can set them and then strive to attain them. Once you set these goals, I want you to do this. I want you to write them down, okay? Take your little note card, just a simple note card, just like this, and take those goals, long-term and short-term, and write them down on that note card. Take a little piece of tape and tape it to your mirror, all right? Tell your mom, the tape will come off, it's not gonna hurt the mirror. Tape it to the mirror so you can sit there and look at it every day. So when you're brushing your teeth, you look over to the side and it says, my goal is to make straight A's this semester. And so from the start of your day, that's stuck in your head, what you're trying to do. Now, let me talk a little bit about where goals fit in with what Quan and Frank said. Quan talked a lot about choices, and I'm a full believer that the goals that you set for yourself will determine your choices. If you have a goal to make A's and B's this semester, you'll be a lot less likely when given the choice to go out and get in trouble to do that because you have your goal of getting A's and B's. And it's the same with what Frank said. I'm a full believer in the fact that, character is contagious. So if you're hanging out with somebody who doesn't have the same goals as you or the same character as you, they're going to drag you down more likely than not. So remember to focus on that. So just to kind of recap for the day, Frank talked about peer pressure, and it's okay to be an individual as long as you're going in the right direction. Quan talked a lot about making the right choices, and then I talked about goals as a means to keep you on track for those things. So just remember, make your goals attainable and specific, write them down, put them somewhere you can see them every day, and I promise it'll be a great help to success in life. And that's all we got today.